Hello guys, my name is Michael, and today we are going to learn some new functions which we are going to apply to our entry, and those functions are GTK-entry set max length, set with char, get with char, set alignment, and get alignment. Before we proceed, let's see what the manual says about these functions. So I think the first one, its name says everything. It's a function which returns void and takes two parameters. The first one is the entry, and the second one is the maximum length of the entry, or 0 for no maximum. So the value passed, it will be claimed to between 0 and 65,536. Okay, so the manual says sets the maximum allowed length of the characters of the widget. If the current contexts are longer than the given length, then they will be truncated to fit. Okay, what this means, let me think for a second. For example, if you are creating a password field where you want to, or you need to let's say to block the user to type a password which is longer than some I don't know, let's say you need like 25 letters something, and your password should fit there, then you can restrict this by calling this function. And as the manual says, takes two parameters. The first one is the entry, so the first one is our entry, and the second one is how long should be the text. So let's start for a second with 5. Okay, I will compile it and run it, and now as you can see I will type something, hello, and that's it. So I cannot type anymore. So this is the maximum characters which I can type. So this means here you can put whatever you want to. This means you should know, and we will probably know how long should be the line which you let the user to use it when they type in that entry, and so on. And that will be said, this is about GTK entry set max length. Okay, the next function, GTK entry set with chars. I think you already know it from a label, which is the same. It's just about entry now, but you know from the labels tutorials. I think if you followed my other tutorials, you already know that this function does. Anyway, it is a function which returns void and takes two parameters and says change the size request of the entry to be about the right size for n chars characters. Note that it changed the size request. The size can still be affected by how you pack the widget into container and so on. Okay, if it's -1, the size reverts to the default entry size. Okay, so you have two options the way says here. So let's see, the first one is the first parameter is the entry, and the second one, if you type now -1, this will be the default which will be assigned when you create your program. So this means if I run the program now, you'll notice nothing here. There is no difference, and so on. But watch what happens if you set maximum with the chars there. For example, let's say 10. No, 10 is too less. Let's say 50. Watch now. You see, I just requested a bigger entry now, because it should fit at least for 50 characters from here to here. So basically this is what this function does. It's reserve your space or room for how many characters do you think you need, or at least how many do you think you need, and so on. There is also the other function which is GTK-entry set max width chars, which set the maximum of them and so on. And now we can move to the next function. If you need to save it, then you only need to create a variable and point it to this function, and once that you have it, with you decide what you want to do with this result, which is the width chars. If you want to print it or if you want to use it somewhere, then you know that it's a GINT. Okay, that being said, we move to the next function, which is GTK-entry set alignment. This is a very important function, and you will see why in a moment. Let me first search for it, and says it is also a function which returns void, takes two parameters, and says sets the alignment for the contents of the entry. This controls the horizontal position of the contents when the display text is shorter than the width of the entry. What this means you will see in a moment. Parameter takes two, or you said the first one is the entry, and the second one is very important. It says the horizontal alignment from 0 left to 1 right, reserved from right to left layouts, RTL, right to left. Okay, let's see. Let's call this function. This function, like I said, needs two parameters. The first one is the entry, and the second one as says here, it is somewhere between 0 and 1. So this means if I pass now 0 here, and I will 0 not 1, and I run the program, you will probably notice nothing, because it's not. Watch the way the text is. So it's starting from here, you see, and goes from here to there. If you set it, for example, to 1, then the text will be from right to the left side. You see, the text is coming now this time from here to here, and being float, this says here G float. This means you can use everything which is between 0 and 1. What this means, let me show you. 0.45, and we need a float, so we need a F there. And now watch, you see, 45 is almost in the middle, which means it's the same like 5, which is basically in the middle now. It's a centered. The text starts from center and so on. You can put whatever you want to, 15, and your text starts, of course, almost from the left. You see this space here from here to here. It's because you say that you need this space, because if you don't need it, and then just ignore this function, let it the way the GTK work with it like this, and everything will be fine. But if you need to do something like that in your entry, then this is the case, and this is the thing which you need to do, is just by calling this function GTK-entry set alignment, and then using the second parameter as the way how you want to print your typed text, if I can call it like that. So 0 means left to right, 1 means right to left, and what's in the middle, that's belongs to the place from where should the character start. Like 0.5 will be the middle one, the center. You will put in the center. Okay, so I think we covered everything which we had to cover in this tutorial. So we learned about how you set max length. That means you can restrict users for typing longer, let's say, messages than these these 100 which you provided, or whatever, which size you do. And then here we learn how to let's say, to ask about a size, a particular size, which should be free for your entry, so that when you probably, let's say, create an application where the room from the entry has to be at least at this size. So to have it there, to not fix it later, then you probably need this function. And the last one, which I told you it is important, is the way you set your alignment of the entry. And by meaning this happens to be so that by using 0 will be left to right typing, and provided 1 will be right to left typing, and everything which is in the middle, it's just a position from where the text should start, and 0.5 will be of course the center. Okay, so that being said, thank you guys for watching, and until next time, please subscribe and share with your friends and neighbors. See you guys.